Thanks for joining me today. I'm your host, Jack McCagg, and I'm going to share with you information in this Transformational Prosperity workshop. I'd like to start and set the tone for today with a blessing for everyone, and it's a chant that is in Sanskrit, and the meaning of it is, "May all beings be free from suffering." That is my work. Seva, service to others so that I may reduce your suffering for my good karma. So let's begin with this chant. And please chant with me. The chant is Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om. Okay, so we've opened up our hearts and we've opened up our minds to the possibility of prosperity for all. So I am a transformational accountant. I have 3 business degrees, 2 of them master's degrees, an MBA, a master's in business administration, and a master's in the science of accountancy. I'm an accountant. And I help people with their businesses and their prosperity. So at this workshop, I'm going to be going through a few overviews of what we'll be talking about and what I cover more in depth at my workshops. If you'd like to contact me, get in touch with me at my Facebook page, Jack McCagg, MCCAIG, and you can also email me, jackmccagg@gmail.com. Okay, look for my upcoming workshops by looking on my Facebook page, and I'll post them for you there. I'm trying to get this message out to everyone in America. What I speak to can be applied in different locations, but this information is specific to people in America. So I'd like to start out with another thing we're going to say together, a chant, if you will. And please say this with me. I will be released from my burden of debt. Again now, together, please. I will be released from my burden of debt. One more time, please. I will be released from my burden of debt. Okay. It is possible, and that's what we're going to do. The next thing that we're going to achieve is, and we will say this again together, please, I will achieve my soul's purpose successfully and prosperously. I know it's a tongue twister, but let's say it again. I will achieve my soul's purpose successfully and prosperously. I will achieve my soul's purpose successfully and prosperously. Okay. Let's talk about what we mean by our soul's purpose. Our soul's purpose is up for each individual to work through in their lifetime. It's a series of steps, but we have to find out individually what our soul's purpose is. And of course we make mistakes along the way. That's one of the ways in which we learn. What I'd like to do is help reduce those mistakes to as few as possible and try and make it so everyone is prosperous in that process of finding your soul's purpose. That's my soul's purpose, okay? I'd like to help people be prosperous in achieving their soul purpose successfully. Okay? There's no reason to be poor, out of work, out of money, and so on, homeless, and giving up your wealth and prosperity in order to achieve your soul's purpose, okay? I don't want you to do it that way. You don't need to, okay? I'm here to help everyone with that, alright? So, as we evolve our soul's purpose, we need to make as few mistakes as possible in planning the outcome of what our soul's purpose is, okay? So there's some traditional methods for doing that, and I like some of them, and I think you're going to like them too. They involve making a plan to make sure you achieve your soul's purpose, because as we achieve our soul's purpose, we work with other souls to achieve it, right? We work with other people. Okay, so the first thing that we do after we've decided, looked inwards within ourselves and whatever method is best for us to determine what our soul's purpose is. How do we determine that? Well, whatever makes us happy, whatever provides us with bliss, whatever makes us so that we feel our light is on, that's what we're doing to achieve our soul's purpose. So please, continue doing that. We're all different. It's not for one person to say what another person's soul purpose is. We decide that on our own, okay? So, once we've decided what our soul's purpose is, we're going to sit down and decide now, hey, how are we going to achieve that purpose, that outcome, if you will? And sometimes we do that through a project or a series of projects to include other people. Okay, so when we start that, we come up in the beginning with a mission, right? A mission statement. And we clearly define in just a few sentences what the mission is going to be. After deciding what our mission is, we're going to take the time to write down what the outcome is from that mission. This is the outcome that we want to achieve. Okay? Some people call this doing a business plan, but this is the way a business plan is done, alright? After we do our mission, and after we write down what our outcome is, then we're going to make an operations plan, okay? Now, I'm not using standard business terms, if you will. I'm using more terms of just how we live our life. So, in order to achieve that outcome, we make an operations plan. And operations plans include who's going to be doing what to achieve that outcome, right? What are the roles going to be? How long is it going to take? What are each of the roles going to take, timing-wise, financially? And then, as we make this plan, and who's to be included in it, right? Then we write down, okay, what are the benefits of the outcome of this? And how is each individual going to share in them? Some of the benefits will be financial. They can be anything. But we're going to take the time to write out what the benefits are in the outcome. And then after we do that process of mission, outcome, and operations to achieve the outcome, we're going to turn the roles that are in the operations into contracts, contractual obligations for everyone involved. This is what you'll be doing, this is how long it will take, these are the finances that are involved, right? And then, at the end, these are the benefits that you'll share. Could be a percentage of the outcome financially, whatever the benefits are. So that's the way creative people turn their soul's purpose into projects successfully to have the outcomes shared and the benefits for all. Okay, now we're going to go on to financial prosperity, alright? I help a lot of people with this. A lot of people are burdened by debt, and I help them remove that burden of debt. Okay? Even though we've taken the time to write down and work through all the issues of how to achieve our soul's purpose, a lot of people say, well, how am I going to do that financially, right? Okay, I'm going to go into a few things that are going to help us get there. All right. The first thing we're going to talk about is a credit report, right? When you want to be lent some money to do something, lenders are only allowed by law to look in one place to see if you're creditworthy, right? And that's the credit report, all right? Is there something on your credit report that is derogatory or not helping you be lent money that you need for your soul's purpose project? Okay, then we're going to need to remove anything from your credit report that is not helping you achieve your end result. So a little bit about credit reports. There's two parts to it: verification and validation. A credit reporting agency is a company that has the information on your credit. All right, they have the credit reports. There are 3 of them. In order for someone to put something, in order for an entity to put an item on your credit report, they must go through the process of verification. Verification is them sending the information to the credit reporting agency and saying, hey, to the credit reporting agency, this person owes me this money and these are the details of it. That's called verification. I know, the word is a little misleading, isn't it? Okay, well, they just tell them the information. That's called verification. Validation is something else that must be done between an entity that says you owe them a debt, and between you, the person. It's different. It's a much more difficult process to prove, to validate the loan that you are supposedly owe them. You must be given a wet ink signature original of the contract that you signed in order for that debt to be valid and for it to remain on your credit report. We use administrative procedures law to validate a loan, and it's a little bit like a foreclosure process, for example. You give notification to the entity that says you owe the debt. You do it a few times. You gather the paperwork appropriately from that interaction. If they don't send you what by law shows that you owe the debt, then you send copies of that information to the credit reporting agency, notifying them that, hey, guess what? This debt is not valid, so you need to remove it from my credit report. If they don't remove it from the credit report, then you can take them to small claims court, very inexpensive, and you're paid $1,000 per violation. If the judge goes against the law and doesn't get you your $1,000 for that violation, well, you can make a claim against the insurance that backs the judge. And there's $10,000 per violation of a United States code, and you make a claim of the insurance that backs the judge or magistrate at small claims court. Also, if the there's an entity in the United States that oversees the credit reporting agencies, you make a complaint to them, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. You can also complain to the Better Business Bureau, because you sent the notifications to the debtor that says you owe the debt, and it was not validated, and you sent it certified mail. You can make a complaint to the Postal Service for the Mail Fraud Division. You can also make a complaint to the Better Business Bureau, and you also can make a complaint to the Attorney General of the state that you live in. Okay, so you're simply in this process asking, hey, I got this notification in the mail that says I owe you money. in order to prove that I do owe you money, you must validate this debt. If they give you an original wet ink signature of the contract you signed, then, hey, your debt is valid and you owe it. I have yet to see a debt that can be validated. And so we're going to go through that procedure and remove anything from your credit report that you do not want on your credit report because it's not validated. And I assist you with that process. The same can be true of someone that says you owe a mortgage, or in some states it's called a deed of trust. What happens in that process, right, of getting a loan against your real estate? First step is you give them a signed promissory note of a certain value. It is sent to the Federal Reserve, right? And then a few days later you are issued Federal Reserve notes electronically to match the amount in that promissory note. The promissory note went on that financial institution books as a credit. The Federal Reserve notes went on their books as a debit. The transaction was complete at that time. You entered into a user agreement instead of a contractual obligation that you said, hey, I agree to pay you back this money even though the transaction was complete. So, you need to go through a similar process of an administrative procedurals process and in order to get that debt removed from your deed. I have yet to see a mortgage or deed of trust that can be validated because the process of exchange was already complete once you received the Federal Reserve notes electronically and they were attached to your deed as a deed of trust or a mortgage. The transaction was actually complete. I assist people with removing the mortgage or deed of trust from their deed. Okay, and this opens us up. If you don't have anything negative on any debt weighing you down on your credit report or any debt weighing you down on your deed, then that, frees up a lot of prosperity for everyone. So that's how we achieve prosperity in our process of achieving our soul's purpose. Okay. Now, we're going to move on to a little bit more about what I do as a transformational accountant. I handle traditional accounting work too. I help you with your tax reporting, right? I help you with your preparation of documents for a loan, which can include pro formas, which are budgeted financial reports or your actual financial reports, what actually happened in your business or in your financial past, and I put those together in financial reports. I also help you with your business troubleshooting and consulting. I do help people through the process of making the business plan that I talked about. And I do all this work on an hourly basis, and I take a small amount up front to begin the process. Whatever you want to achieve financially with me, Jack McKegg, your transformational accountant. So, we're going to close today, and we're going to once again ask that all beings be free from suffering, and that's my service to you. I try and free you from your financial suffering and your financial burdens. Okay? So please chant with me again. May all beings be free from suffering, in Sanskrit, right? Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha Suki no bhavantu lokaha samastaha Suki no bhavantu. Om. Namaste. Please contact me if I can assist you in any way. All right. Blessings for your day.